Greetings, well, Arrowverse fans. We're looking at Arrow Season 5, and that continues on with Checkmate. The episode begins in a set of snowy mountains. Oliver walks up to the front door of a castle and goes inside. He's met with a series of angry students who are prepared to fight them but are stopped by Talia. He explains the situation with Prometheus, and Talia explains that she is aware of Prometheus' motivations when she trained him. According to her, she's willing to train Prometheus because both of their fathers have been killed by Oliver. She reveals that her name is actually Talia al Ghul. To Oliver's surprise, she tells Oliver Prometheus' real identity, Adrian Chase. Bum bum bum. Felicity led through Helix's space of operations. She admires her technology, including a database of every camera phone's photos in the world. Oliver led through his mayor's office looking for Chase. He finds him in the conference room and asks to see Chase in his office. Chase declines and remarks that Oliver looks tired, but that he's finally awake to the truth. In a flashback, Oliver helps Brodva in a bar fight. In the present day, Chase gets an arrow shot through his car. It's the Green Arrow, coming to arrest him instead of killing him. Chase reveals that he knows Oliver's secret identity. He explains that he kidnapped Susan Williams, and that Oliver killing or hurting Chase will lead to Susan's death, or worse. The team reacts to the news that Chase is Prometheus. Oliver asks where Felicity is, but Curtis says that she isn't answering her phone. Oliver tells the team that they need to work to find and free Susan before they can officially make a move on Prometheus. Diggle reveals that he's sending Curtis to Opal City to go after Chase's mother. Oliver gets ready to head out to Chase's house, which reportedly has a secret basement. Diggle offers to accompany Oliver, but he declines. In a flashback, Oliver and Angeli debate how to go up against Gregor. Oliver suggests killing Gregor before he becomes too dangerous. Oliver says to go after Gregor, who is apparently hiding in a Brodva hideout at a hockey rink. Curtis and Diana walk through Chase's mom's house. It's vacant, meaning that Chase already took her away before a Team Arrow could get there. Curtis starts up one of his T-spheres and it flies up the stairs, scanning for data. The pair quickly hear a woman scream upstairs. Upstairs, there's a graphic video of Susan being held hostage by Prometheus being projected on the wall. Lance and Renee are confronted by Chase at City Hall. After Chase walks away, Lance phones Oliver and tells him it's all clear to look in Chase's house. Oliver and Diggle enter the house and scope it out. Oliver finds Mrs. Chase and tells her the truth about Chase's murders. They are interrupted by SCPD members who escort Mrs. Chase out of the house. Oliver sets off a flash bomb and escapes. Oliver and Diggle are shown the video of Susan. Felicity arrives, and the rest of the team leaves Oliver and Felicity alone. Oliver explains that he's worried about what Felicity is secretly getting into, and she tells him that now is not a good time for her to tell the truth. She also explains that she was able to find out Chase's birth name, Simon Morrison, and proving that he faked his identity is enough for Chase to get arrested. Oliver rushes to City Hall and makes a statement about Greeno breaking into Chase's house. He tells the press that the mayor's office supports Chase and that the Greeno needs to turn himself in 24 hours or be arrested. Oliver goes to meet Captain Pike, giving the drive information on Chase. He orders him to go through it and make an arrest if necessary, but to make sure not to tell anyone where he got the drive from. Pike complies. In a flashback, Anna Charlie meets with Oliver, who is dressed in the hood suit. He explains that he's using his alternate identity to fight Gregor, and Charlie explains that he should not keep those parts of him separate. Felicity shows a case of the video of Susan being tortured. She asks for Helix's help with the case, but Casey explains that Felicity actually needs to do something for them first to prove her worth with the organization. She instructs Felicity to decrypt files from Homeland Security. Pike leaves the office, but is greeted by a homeless man. The man stabs Pike in the chest with a knife before turning around and leaving. Oliver rushes to the hospital, runs explains that Pike fell into a coma from the attack. Oliver reassures that Chase hurt Pike. He enters the hospital room, where Chase is standing over Pike's body. Chase tells Oliver that Susan is still alive. Oliver reassures that he and Tamar will kill Chase as soon as they find Susan. Chase says that killing him will only add to the list of those killed because of Oliver, which will lead to his breaking point. Chase tells Oliver that killing him would be like Oliver killing himself. Oliver enters the Arrow Cave. He throws a mannequin holding his Green Arrow costume across the room and begins breaking various things around the cave. In a flashback, Gregor and various Brodva members are seen watching a hockey game. One falls into a nearby room, where he's killed by the Hood and Anatoly. until it begins firing at Gregor's men. Felicity agrees to decrypt the Homeland Security drone files. Chris asks why they're doing this, and Felicity explains it will help them find Susan in a way. She begins sending false information to the Homeland Security system, and Curtis begs her to tell the truth. She does, but Curtis is still unhappy that she's doing these things behind Oliver and Diggle's backs. Diggle finds Oliver in the ruined arrow cave. Oliver explains that he feels powerless to stop Chase. Diggle says that he's not alone. Oliver wonders if that's the problem, if trusting other people in his life has led to this problem. He assumes the strength that he gets from those in his life is ultimately weakness exploited by his enemies. Oliver's phone rings. He explains that Felicity discovered where Chase is hiding Susan. He asks Diggle to help explain one of Chase's weaknesses. The team finds the location they believe that Chase is hiding Susan. There are several heat signatures in the building, which is strange because Prometheus generally works alone. They enter the building and begin to scope it out. Donna and Renee find a bomb planted inside one of the building's rooms. It goes off, trapping them inside the room. Felicity says all of the heat signatures are bombs. Oliver finds Susan tied up in an elevator. He frees her, but the elevator begins moving under Chase's control. Oliver tells Susan to escape the building before it explodes when he goes off and faces Chase alone. He exits the elevator and finds Prometheus. Curtis uses T-spheres to free Renee and Dinah. Prometheus unmasks himself, tells Oliver that he actually likes that Talia told Oliver the truth. Oliver threatens to keep both of them inside the building until it explodes, and Chase responds by pressing a remote and disabling the bombs, as he's always 10 steps ahead. Oliver disagrees as Diggle escorts Chase's wife into the room. She reveals that she now knows the truth about her husband, and Chase apologizes to her. The pair hug, and Chase's wife begs him to turn himself in. Chase remarks that he will take care of everything, before stabbing his wife in the chest. Chase and Oliver begin fighting. Diggle brings Chase's wife outside as Felicity calls an ambulance. Chase tells Oliver that he can't kill him, but Oliver disagrees. He's suddenly shot with an arrow from behind, aimed at him from Talia. The team runs to fight Oliver, but both he and Chase are missing. Diggle and the team walk into the arrow cave. Dinah asks Felicity to use her resources to find Oliver, and she complies, storming out of the room to go to Helix. In a flashback, Anthony and Oliver kill all the men at the hockey rink. Oliver shoots arrows into Gregor and confronts him face to face. Gregor recognizes Oliver. Oliver explains he's a different man, one who's going to kill Gregor. He pulls the arrows out of Gregor's chest. Lance leads Susan through the precinct where they run to Chase. Lance runs Chase. Chase explains that he's in mourning because the green arrow killed his wife and then disappeared. Lance asks why he shouldn't just arrested Chase already, but Chase explains that doing so would get Oliver killed. Casey compliments Felicity on her Homeland Security hack. Felicity ignores her, focusing on finding Oliver with whatever resources possible. Oliver is held in restraints in an empty cell. Chase and Talia enter, and Oliver reprimands Talia for complying with a murderer. Oliver assures Chase that his friends will find him, but Chase explains that he doesn't want to kill Oliver. He wants to help him discover who he really is. He leaves the room, locking Oliver in his cell. Oh boy. So anyway, let's take a look at some trivia from this episode. The episode title comes from Adrian outsmarting Oliver at every turn, claiming he is 10 steps ahead. Oliver also admits that Chase has them in check. Oliver enters the team where I find out that Adrian Chase is Prometheus. When Curtis is trying to go to find Adrian's mother, Amanda Westfield in Opal City, they see her house is empty, and Curtis says, Norman Bates got the hell out of Dodge. This is a reference to the mother of serial killer Norman Bates from the Psycho film series. Amanda's house is also the same as Mary Ellen's childhood home on The Flash. This first appears at Talia Gould in Season 5 in the present day rather than flashbacks. In the flashbacks, Oliver mentions that he doesn't know anyone who could get data off a bullet-ridden laptop, referencing what he asked Felicity to do in the Season 1 episode, Lone Gunman. So overall, I think this episode is really intense, and yeah, I'm still shocked that Adrian chases Prometheus, so yeah, I wonder what let him do that. So overall, I give Checkmate 5 arrowheads out of 5. When I tune in with the next episode, Capuchin, or however it's pronounced, so yeah. But anyway, so until then, in the words of Oliver Queen, you have failed this city.